in just a couple of moments, Bob has a local hero. He'll introduce you to him right after this short break.
Welcome back to A Morning. We're joined this morning by a real hero, and I know that because it says so right here in this article in today's Parent Magazine. Dr. Duncan McKinley. You got to be really excited about that.
I am. It's a privilege for something like that to happen. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on today, because any time there's an opportunity for more exposure of Tourette syndrome and what kids like myself when I was younger go through is wonderful. And you know, I think that it's nice that I'm sort of the visible hero, I suppose, but I really think I'm representing a lot of heroes. I'm representing all of those kids that, you know, step up to the plate every day, and their parents that tirelessly advocate for them, and all the teachers and professionals that they don't have Tourette syndrome, they don't have these opportunities for media exposure, but they're working really hard in and out every day to, you know, improve the quality of life for these kids.
Well, we want to talk about what you're doing for kids with the workshops you hold, but I want to talk a little bit about your background in case people don't know. You're a psychologist now.
I am, yes.
But you do suffer from Tourette syndrome and have since you were a child.
I experienced Tourette syndrome anyway. I suffered at one point, but I think one of the main thrusts of the work I do now is that Tourette syndrome and suffering don't necessarily have to be synonymous.
Right, but in your case, you went through your entire childhood not being diagnosed.
Definitely. There were 12 years of suffering there for me. I was first symptomatic around age 7, read an Ann Landers article at age 18, and finally got diagnosed at 19. And I'll often tell people that those 12 years of not knowing did a lot more damage than the disorders themselves really ever could. And so, hence my passion at getting out there and spreading the word now.
Well, let's talk about that. That's the reason you were mentioned in this article, because of your work. It's called The Brake Shop, B-R-A-K-E.
It is.
Tell me a bit about that.
And I'm glad you specified B-R-A-K-E, because I think sometimes people think B-R-E-A-K, that we're talking about, you know, giving kids a break, but really what we're talking about is giving kids a break as on a car. That just like brakes on a car will stop a car, and if those brakes aren't working, you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. People need brakes and have brakes too, and when those brakes are leaky, when you can't stop your various movements, when you can't stop where your attention's roaming or your impulses, or turn your thoughts off, that can cause not just a lot of difficulty, but also a lot of misunderstanding and misperception.
You must have helped an awful lot of families, a lot of parents to suddenly understand what's the issue, because it's not just Tourette's, you're talking about ADHD and other disorders of this type. There must be some really rewarding moments there.
Well, I certainly hope we're helping a lot of folks, and we've been privileged in our clinic to get a lot of nice feedback. I think one of the things we do that's very important is that we talk about it in a very user-friendly way. That, I mean, we could have called it the faulty cortical striatal thalamocortical circuitry shop, but
good second choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The kids stared at me blankly, and I would have looked smart, but it really wouldn't have accomplished our main mission, which is to get people really having the light bulbs go off and recognizing, oh, okay, I see where the skill deficit is now. This isn't a bad kid. This is a kid who's really struggling and needs some support and accommodation and validation.
Okay, and just quickly then, again, it must be such a relief for parents to understand and for kids to understand that this is something that can be treated, we can work with this, we can make things better.
Yeah, and I think a lot of treatment is just the psychoeducation, not just for yourself so you know the types of strategies that will work and what won't work, but also for the people around you, your peers and your teachers and principals and parents, just everyone on board and giving you what you need.
Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us again today. Duncan McKinley, psychologist and actual hero. When we come back, more from Hawaii from the Bamboo Restaurant, but first let's have a look at what's coming up tonight on A.